Out on the racetrack.
Pretty quick work by Mark Rett and his guys to get him back out this quickly. 10 laps down right now for Justin Lofton.
30 laps of racing to go. Todd Bodine still in front. Timothy Peters running second, 1.19 seconds behind.
But he's clipping off the fastest laps on the track right now, Rick. He was a tenth faster than our leader last time by, and a couple tenths a lap before that. Oh! Eichler into the outside wall.
Pretty hard in the outside wall.
What was that flew off the truck?
It looked like coming off of the truck.
NASCAR will have to see if that might have left something on the track to get a caution here late in the going.
See Hornaday to the inside. Brian Eichler on the outside. And Eichler able to stay in front of Hornaday.
You can see some tire smoke on Eichler's truck, so that could obviously cut that right front tire. We've seen that happen a couple of times tonight, guys.
See all the debris back there. You think maybe that's foam from the safer barrier, maybe where he bounced off that wall?
I think he knocked some of the foam out. Certainly is.
That's what it looks like.
Take another look.
He's going to hit it pretty hard here, about right off the corner.
Wow.
See, it's just about 3 truck lengths before the end of the safer barrier.
I've never seen the foam fly out of there like that. I think it just was where he hit it, right at the end of the safer barrier. And that smaller, thinner pieces of foam just jumped out of there.
And just a moment ago, the 33 of Hornaday able to take advantage of the slowing down of Brian Eichler, and he takes that position away.
Yeah, he'll be lucky if he don't blow a tire, because that thing hit hard.
I think he's already got into the outside wall again, Ray.
He needs to pit.
Yeah, and he's starting to smoke now, so I think you'll see that truck come down pit road. You guys remember the race at Dover earlier this year when Kyle Busch just dominated? He led 172 laps, but then right at the end they had a fuel pickup problem and ended up, I think, finishing 16th or something. Well, this is the same truck that they had that day at Dover, and there's Eichler into the wall hard this time. He will definitely come to the pits now, and that should bring out a yellow.
Yeah, that was inevitable. You knew that was going to happen.
Right,
I hate the spotter and the team didn't get with him and say get to pit road, because he hit hard enough, and obviously the tire blew out.
So the right front goes away for the 18 of Brian Eichler, and that will end his night early. See the right front locked up now as hard contact made.
You can see he drives down into turn 3. The right front tire goes flat. It puts him into the outside wall. You know, he was second. This 18 truck was second in the owner's points this year. Just a handful of points off Todd Bodine for the lead. This will certainly hurt those chances of winning that owner's championship. As a Toyota, Kyle Busch obviously would love to win that in his rookie season.
Listen in.
Again, that was inevitable after that initial contact coming off the corner, bouncing off that wall. You know that that it had slowed the truck down. He had made other contact while we were looking at another replay, so you knew it was about to happen. Adam, what is Timothy Peters' guys thinking?
Jeff Hensley is coaching his driver to cut off the engine and let it roll to save fuel. Rick Gay, who oversees the technical operation for Red Horse Racing, just told me they think this caution will be what they needed to get over the hump in regard to fuel mileage. They have elected, as you see, to stay on the racetrack, and Hornaday just behind him also getting the cue to stay on track and not come down pit road. This should help their fuel mileage as well.
So the 2 guys that came onto pit road, the latest, Dillon and Compton, are running 6th and 8th. And so Austin Dillon trying to take advantage of guys staying on the racetrack and thinking that they might come in a little bit later. Well, that strategy might not pay off. Guys are staying on the racetrack. Todd Bodine, does he have enough to go the distance? And welcome back. Still under our 9th caution of the night. This time it was Brian Eichler in the 18 that got into the wall. Let's give you a recap of what took place. Early on, Ken Schrader couldn't get the truck to fire.
This is before they even started the race, started the engines. His truck wouldn't fire. Had to go to the back of the pack. At the very start, the 5 runs in the back of Brian Eichler in a bit of a chain reaction, caused his truck to overheat, the 5 truck.
You can see Mario Goslin got some contact, spun around. Dennis Setzer's involved. Looked like Ryan C got a part of that as well. That all happened before the 10th lap.
Lap 9, it's Jason White and the 3 of Austin Dillon making some contact. Dillon into the wall. White saves it down low.
Ron Hornaday wins the battle off pit road. Timothy Peters was the leader coming in. Ron Hornaday beats him by about a foot to get that lead.
Timothy Peters had his tires smoking, but he just couldn't beat Ron Hornaday back to that line.
Jason White closes an engine.
Then on lap 75, TJ Bell in the number 50 comes right front down and into the wall he goes.
Lap number 84, Ricky Carmichael gets into the outside wall for the second time. Spins around.
Keeps it going in the right direction, but there's bad things looming ahead for this truck.
Bad things like not on the 90th lap, the 07 of Donnie Leah into the wall. Then lap 97.
Here comes Ricky's problem. Mario Goslin loses the tire monkey truck, comes down the track, clips Carmichael, boom! With his foot flat on the floorboard, he hits that outside wall.
Then the problems for Skinner happen. Lofton in the 7 comes down the racetrack, boom.
Yeah, Mike Skinner with nowhere to go. He'd already driven off the main part of the racetrack onto the apron. Most recently, Brian Eichler, after making contact 2 or 3 times with the outside wall, finally cuts that right front tire down.
And that gets us to where we are now. You see, we had just 2 cautions back in 03 and 10 and 04. Tonight, we're challenging that record of 10 cautions.
And the guy involved in the most recent one is standing by with Ray.
And guys, it appears that the damage on the right front is enough that Eric Phillips has decided to load this thing up. They won't go back to the track. And Brian, I know you got your first Darlington stripe earlier today, and this one a much more harder hit.
Yeah, I got on the wall there racing with Hornaday, and flat side of the right side of the truck, and it was rubbing and just blew right front, getting in a 3 after I got on the wall. So it was definitely on my fault. Not how we wanted to run here at Darlington. We had a pretty good night going.
Okay. Obviously disappointed, guys, as we get ready to go back to green.
20 laps of racing remain. Green flag back in the air. Todd Bodine, can he hold on? Does he have enough fuel? That's the big question now. Timothy Peters on the inside, trying to stay in front of Hornaday.
Looked like Hornaday was trying to help him, push him along that front straightaway. It about spun Timothy Peters out. Hornaday grabs the 3rd spot.
James Busher pulled down to the inside to try to make a move on Johnny Sauter. Wasn't able to do it. Slowed his momentum. Now they're 3 wide.
Down to the bottom of the racetrack. Matt Crafton in the 88 way down low. Checks up and allows the 31 of James Busher by. And now Stacy Compton's going to try to make the pass on Matt Crafton.
You know, when we talk about how narrow this racetrack is, where Matt Crafton was, that's not actually racetrack.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. He was aggressively trying to grab a spot, and his aggression cost him a couple of spots because he lost his way as he got down into turn 3. Like you said, Phil, he wasn't even on the darn track.
Bodine, Peters, Hornaday, 1, 2, 3. Then Johnny Sauter running in the 4th position now. A pretty good run for that Chevrolet.
Austin Dillon now in the 5th position. He was able to get by James Busher. Remember, both of these trucks pitted later than the rest of them. James Busher back on lap number 92. Austin Dillon on lap number 100.
Crafton able to stay in front of Compton, 7th and 8th between those 2 drivers.
You know, Phil, we talked earlier in the show that the track had grip and these guys would run lap after lap faster than they ever have here before because of the new surface. Well, the top 2 drivers the last time by were faster than the previous track record qualifying speed. These guys are running the fastest laps of the day. Last time by 29.21 seconds, and we're in a long way into a tire run.
Yeah, this is amazing, the resurfacing job they did on this racetrack.
Adam Alexander, what are you thinking about?
I'm talking about the man that's running second, Rick, and I was going to ask our drivers, Michael and Phil, about how much a driver can help their truck here, because Timothy Peters has not been on pit road since lap 76. Obviously, you can't make a chassis adjustment if you don't make a pit stop, but Timothy continues to radio to Jeff Hensley that he's changing his line, trying to help the handle. So how flexible is it here at Darlington for a driver?
Well, we saw Todd Bodine do just what Timothy Peters says he's doing now, and that was look around for some pavement where your truck will work. The groove is narrow, but the way you enter these turns and how close you're willing to get to that wall lap after lap can change the way your truck gets around the track. And I think that's what these drivers running at the front have been smart enough to figure out during the course of this race.
There's a battle for 6th and 7th right here. James Busher has it. Matt Crafton trying to take it from him. And that's where the experience of Todd Bodine comes in. He was very quick to try to find a different part of the racetrack to make his truck work. Right now, Timothy Peters is going through the exact same thing.
So Crafty takes that spot away from James Busher. That's 1 and 2. Todd Bodine.
Ron Hornaday joined the club of being faster than the track record last time by. He ran a 29.29. He was faster as well. You can see he's